Hi everybody, sanibonani, welcome to my channel. Igama lami Mdletshe, and on this channel siyayezibuka ama reality shows ethu ala Mzansi bese sizala sokwenza ama reviews or ama recaps on boy have I got a review for you. Okay? today, okay, let me not. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhuluma ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala Mzansi. If it's your first time joining me today and you really like my content, there's a subscribe button la ngezansi. If you want to be a member, there's a join button. If you want to financially support the channel, there's a thanks button, there's a like button. Kanti ke futhi there are adverts on this channel. Please watch an advert or two, okay? Anyway, you guys, today we are going to do the full review of The Real Housewives of Durban, and we are going to talk about what happened in episode 2, okay? Which it was a hit, okay? They had surprises, they had bombs, and they had scuttles for days, okay? Anyway, you guys, it's the end of Jojo's event, and of course they asked Mbali to sing again. I don't know why singers make such a big deal when somebody says, please sing for us, but you're a singer, you know. Yeah, we are a singer, you know. If somebody says sing for us, just sing, okay? But I guess they were being unfair because, I mean, you can't be, let's say you're a gardener and you are at a party and people are like, are you a gardener? You're like, yeah, I'm a gardener. Like, just do the garden. I guess, you know, we're being unfair. So they asked her to sing, Jojo asked her to sing them out. She sang that song again. I'm like, I need another song now. Anyway, you guys, I really think it's a good promotion for her song and for her album as well. I'm sure there are people that have gone to her YouTube channel or searched her music on YouTube just to listen to that song in full. So it is a good promotion. So I don't know why she's complaining about it. She always feels, it looks like she's not impressed by the fact that everybody is asking her to sing. Anyway, it looks like the party has gone well, so everybody is leaving except Ulundi is not looking very happy, you guys. She's not looking happy, so Jojo notices it and decides that she's going to talk to her about it. Listen, you guys, I like when women come in on the reality show and share real stories and share about the real things that they are going through. But I also feel like when you have treated people a certain way on the show, there are times where I feel like you don't really all the way deserve a kindness from everybody. And Ulundi is one of those people. She hasn't been kind when other people have needed kindness, have needed warmth from the other cast members. She hasn't been that person that has offered warmth to the others or just support to the others. She's always on, you know. And Nonku had a rough start to the show. She really did. And even her dealing with the issue of alcohol, and also she did say that she dealt with depression, and it was not very kind to Nonku. So even this season, I am seeing that Ulundi is going through something. You know, she is going through something, and I really want to feel sorry for Ulundi, and I really want the other cast members to support her. But at the same time, I'm like, girl, this is not the season for that, you know, because it's like, just like you haven't given it to the other cast members, do you really expect it to be given it back to you? Do you expect, you know, a softness to be given to you when you were so tough with the other cast members when they were going through a tough time? So I'm having a hard time feeling sorry for Ulundi, but at the same time, I do feel like what she is sharing is a real story for her, you guys. I'm gonna see how I feel about her as we move through the seasons, because for me, Ulundi has been that tough cookie who has always offered toughness to the others. So I'm wondering if other people are going to be able to give her some kindness, or they're going to be tough on her too, because yes, she is going through some personal struggles, but there are possibly things going on with her marriage. And if people are questioning her marriage, are we going to feel bad that they are questioning things in her marriage while she's going through those personal struggles? Are we going to be able to give her a break? Because she hasn't given people a break on the show. So I'm struggling with that. But they they do a sit down when everybody has left. They do a sit down with Jojo kanye no Eni. Okay, so Eni is talking about the Eni and Nonku thing. How did she feel about that? Listen, that's why I say Eni is going through something, because had it been last season or season 1 and Nonku, she heard Nonku spoke about her behind her back, or Eni wouldn't have, she would have come for Nonku. But this season, I feel like she doesn't even have energy for it. You know, she's not, it's like, I have more important things going on in my life than that. You know, I feel like that. But anyway, you guys, so they talk about that a little bit, but she's like, I'm not worried about that much. I've got other things that are going on. Here is the thing that I didn't notice, you guys, and I didn't even notice that it was going on online. Apparently, Eni has an issue with her eye. There is another cast member who was in season 1, is no longer there, that I noticed that there was an issue with her eye. But I sometimes, like, I don't like talking about physical issues, especially when it has nothing to do, it doesn't affect the show in any way. Apparently, she has an issue with a lazy eye. And when she explained it, I only saw it when she explained it. She says her face is not even. And when I looked at it, it looks slimmer on the other side. It doesn't look like a very significant issue, but sometimes when you are insecure about something, I'm sure she sees it on the mirror more than we see it. But she says her face is slimmer on one side than the other side. When she said it and I looked, I was like, oh, okay, now I noticed. But I hadn't noticed it. But while she was talking about it, they were putting screenshots of the comments that people had written on Twitter about the same issue, about her eye and about her face. And I was like, oh, so people have noticed, and they have actually tweeted a lot about it over the 2 seasons. So it's something that is starting to affect her. The reason she's deciding she wants to talk to Jojo about that is because she says Jojo does a lot of procedures on her body. Maybe she can have advice on the kind of procedure, I guess, that she can do to fix the very issue that she has an issue with. And she says it's called Bell's palsy, what she has. It's a condition that she has. And so it affects a side of your face. It paralyzes a side of your face. Anyway, you guys, I'm sure it really is a serious issue, but I think that the thing that has made her feel even worse about it is the fact that people are talking about it, because honestly, I didn't notice it. I didn't notice until she started talking about it, okay? And she starts talking about how when she was growing up in London, she was getting bullied. This story, she has spoken about it before, you guys. And it's understandable that it has affected us. It's something that happened in her childhood. Apparently, she grew up in London. She was a foreigner in London, and also she is colored, you guys. So she went through a lot of bullying there, and she said she spent a lot of time on her own, and that thing really affected her. Jojo feels really bad about it, you guys, and I think she was trying to be supportive to her. I think when she tells a story, I did feel sorry for her, because nobody deserves to go through something like that, and we all know things that we go through during childhood affect you in your adult life. We might think Eni is just a mean person, but she has gone through a lot earlier in her life, okay? So I mean, I guess Jojo is going to advise her on what procedure to do, which she does later on. She can do on her face, which she does later on. I don't know, you guys, if she needs the procedure, but sometimes if a person really feels like a certain procedure would help her to feel better about herself, then, you know, maybe she should get it. But I just didn't feel like her face is paralyzed that much from me looking at it, that it doesn't feel to me that it's something that needs to be fixed. But at the same time, I feel like if she feels like it affects her that much, so maybe she needs to fix it for herself, okay? Anyway, you guys, and the next scene was, of course, finally, okay, we meet Mr. Petal Nonku. Wengaswenkile kanjeni. Yeah, befaka ama 2 piece. ngathi ne basincishile uphethal last season bazosinika uphethal bathe bani Dumisani Dlanzi uyazi uDumisani ukuthi sisazomsearcha sisazomsearcha sisazothola ama ex girlfriends akhe ama ex wives akhe, you know, the kids, the baby mamas. They even gave him a diary session, you know. Listen, you guys, I love for any woman, okay? I love when a woman is in love and is genuinely loved, okay? It's just that with these women being on such a big reality shows and men knowing how much exposure you get from being on these shows, it makes you question the intentions of the guys that date these women while they're on the show. It's one thing when somebody comes on with their husband that is already their husband or already their boyfriend. It's another thing for them to meet someone while they're doing the show. And when the guy comes into your life and immediately after they come into your life, they're already doing diary sessions on the show, I'm like, because a lot of the guys will be like, I know that's your job. I mean, I'm busy with my job. It's okay, you know. And maybe they would appear at an event or two. If they're accepting doing diary sessions, I'm watching Dumisani. I am watching him because I was like, you actually agreed to do a diary session when you are still dating Nonku. On this episode, they were actually talking about whether they're girlfriend and boyfriend because, of course, Zulu ufuna ukuthi yes uyavuma noma uyaphika na ukuthi siyathandana and all that. But he's already doing diary session on the show. He's already visiting your job and attending meetings at your job, but you haven't decided if you're girlfriend and boyfriend. Am I the only one who feels like Dumisani has come for something and that something is not Nonku? I don't know, guys. I don't know about this guy. I really don't. I don't know. But we are watching, okay? We are watching. We are researching. Okay, fine. So they do a sit down. They were having what? Is it lunch? So he's trying to figure out where they are in their relationship. You guys, yabona kids, you'll never know in the way uyangifaka noma uyangkhipha, you know? Mawuthi umuntu uyamkhipha athi uyangikhipha enhluphekweni ungifaka ekujabuleni shuthi uyangithanda. Mawuthi uyamfaka athi ungifaka enhlizweni yakho. Nina nazi ukushela yazi nje you don't know life. Nishelwa ngo-WhatsApp, yini ku-WhatsApp, nishelwa ngama-DMs. You never know ukuthi umuntu athi uyavuma yini, you know, uyavuma yini. So that's what he was looking for, I guess. So Nonku was saying ukuthi I guess he is looking for her to say yes, we are dating. And they start to talk a little bit about, you know, how the relationship is going to go, you guys. I really feel like it doesn't sound like they know each other very well. I think that maybe they should have just continued dating without actually defining a relationship as such, because they really do sound like they need some time to get to know each other. Unoko is still talking about the fact that she doesn't actually cook. I don't know why she felt like it was so important so early in the relationship to say, but I guess, I mean, you must know that you're not going to be getting a cooked meal from Nonku before you even make that decision on whether you love me or not. And also just that they sounded to me like they're different. It sounds like he's looking for a traditional woman who's going to cook. Ayemasimini ayolu. Umuntu okubuza ukuthi uyakwazi yini ukulima, yabo? Ngiyakwazi ukulima, but if somebody asks me to ngiyakwazi ukulima, I would say no, I don't, because I'm not going to lima in a relationship. If unamasimo, hire someone for amasimo akho, because I ain't doing it, okay? So she was asking questions like that I felt like maybe they're different. I don't know if he has a farm somewhere, if he needs a woman also lima and all of that. So what he asked, which was interesting, was, I don't know if he was joking, because I'm still getting to know Dumisani. When Nonku said she can't cook, she was like, oh, so kuzokwenziwa njani? And she was like, I have a chef. But I was like, but you guys are not going to be staying together so soon. Are they going to be staying together? And I suspect ukuthi sebehlala ndawonye in the lab. Anyway, so, and then he says, so is the chef going to be my second wife? And I was like, hey, Nonku, you did say all. I hope the chef is not a woman, because yeah, black men cheats. That's what she said to Nonku. That's what she believe. Pela, what you believe for yourself is what happens in your life. She believes what black men cheat, And his question about the chef being possibly a second wife, whether it was a joke or not, I was like, okay. The flag might not be red, maybe orange flag. I was like, okay, orange flag. Uyakwazi ukupheka utshwala besiZulu. Na. Sibe phekwa utshwala. Bazopheka umama utshwala. There's always a mama willing to pheka the utshwala, okay? Anyway, I guess those are the things that are important to him when he is in a relationship with somebody. And I mean, if those are the things that are important, then he needed to ask those questions. I just feel like they're different, with Nonku. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it might just work because it's really good to be on Real Housewives, and be a real husband. So maybe that's how it's gonna make the relationship work. I don't trust him for Nonku. I don't know. I don't trust him with Nonku's heart because, listen, I like Nonku. So, and I want Nonku to be loved for real. I don't want this guy for it to be coming out that this guy had another family somewhere married and he just wanted to be on Real Housewives and it was an opportunity for him. I don't want that to come out. So I'm hoping, against all odds, because my flags are orange right now, I'm hoping that he is genuine, you guys. And then Nonku talks about the fact that she doesn't like booking. Okay, apparently. And then that's another. This one is not orange. This flag is very red. Okay, why are they booking? This guy doesn't have a home. Lo beswenke kanjeni doesn't have an apartment somewhere. Lo doesn't have a house somewhere. Guys, is he married? Is he broke? Why are you booking? Yeah, Nonku doesn't like booking. This guy might not have a home. Is a petal without a yacht, I am telling you. Kodwa where is Ulundi? Ulundi yazi ubezobabuza na ukuthi my petal didn't have a yacht, but you are booking a hotel with your guy. Where is the house? Where is the triple story house? This guy, no. I am changing the color of the flags. The flags are no longer orange. If he doesn't have a home, the flags are not orange. They are very much red, Tumsan, where is your home? Is there a wife there? Why is Nonku not going there? Anyway, you guys, maybe he has a home and he has kids there and he's still getting to know. If let's turn them to orange and our flags. But yeah, it's questionable that Nonku we are bukizo. Ha sisi umdala kanje. Anyway, you guys, we go to the scene with Maria and her side chick. Guys, let me just say this. Maria, I know it's Maria, but it's Maria. Maria. Oh, Maria, angimthandisisi, And this is why, I didn't realize that I really, really like Sorisha, okay? And I really liked the queenship Sorisha, okay? I'm giving her that title. She is the queen of the show because she is the OG anyway, and she's the richest, and she has held that position for the longest time, so I'm giving the queenship. I didn't realize that I liked that position so much for Sorisha. So anybody that comes to challenge that, I don't like, okay? And I like the fact that Sorisha listened to the viewers somehow and changed some things in the way that she's approaching the show. She was like, okay, you want the real me? I'm going to give you the real me this season. I like that, okay? So I think I'm having that issue with Maria right now because she's not coming to claim her place, but she's coming to claim the queenship Sorisha, which is, it's not going to work out because I don't like that, okay? But she might end it. We never know, okay? We never know. So I guess she's with her sidekick, or she's always with this guy all the time, okay, that's not her husband, okay? But these husbands, guys, are not around a lot, okay? The husbands that are really rich, they're not around, okay? The ones that are able to shoot scenes on the show, those ones you question, okay? So if Dumisani shoots a lot of scenes for Real Housewives, we know he's not rich. Because Abo Vivian Reddy, they're busy traveling, opening malls, opening countries, opening, oceans. They don't have time to shoot Real Housewives, okay? So any husband that shoots a lot of scenes on the show is not busy enough, okay? Even Petal couldn't shoot because he was busy with his yachts, okay? So if you can shoot a lot of scenes, red flags, okay? Anyway, so I guess No Maria is the same thing. So they talk about Jojo's party, and she said she was unsettled by how it ended. I guess they're talking about Nonku and thing as issue, Nonku and Jojo as Nonku and who Annie's issue. Listen, you guys, there's never gonna be a party or an event on Real Housewives that doesn't end with drama or there's no issue being brought up. That's the reason they do the parties. That's the reason they do the events. It just wouldn't make sense to have a party where everybody's like getting along. There's no game being played. There's no nobody says, listen, can I talk to you? Can I pull somebody on the to the side to talk about something? That is not a Real Housewives party. No, it's one of your parties that you have with Mama Ben Basenkonzo and on Real Housewives, but there must be just that one issue that shake, somebody to shake a table a little bit. So I think that's what it was. I guess she's not impressed by the fact that Sorisha brought that up at the table. She should have, spoken about it in private. But then, Tina, when were we gonna know about the issue if it's spoken about in private? Okay, that's not how a reality show works. Maria, if you're going to be having conversations in private, you're not going to last very long on this show because we don't do private. We do on the table. We do it in the party. All of that. A reality show, that's what happens, okay? So, and she talks about the fact that Sorisha thinks she is the queen of the group and she is not really a queen because she is the queenship ngiyathanda. Kuzobangwa queenship ave ngithanda le nkosami ukuthi kuzobangwa queenship. We're just going to say okay to circle this. What is your net worth? Okay. Whoever has the biggest net worth is the queen. We will circle it very, very quickly. And I suspect to go to Sorisha might win. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. But I don't know much about Maria. She might be richer. I don't know, you guys. So, and I guess she does say, though, in her, was it a diary session or when she was speaking to the guys who said, I'm not used to not being the one that is noticed. And I guess she's having an issue. Usually she's the one that is the queen and whatever. And everybody in this group is treating Sorisha like the queen. She said she's not used to that. I get it. So I guess that's why she's going to be fighting for that position to be a queen. I don't know how it's going to work out for her, but I like the fact that there's going to be somebody that is coming in to challenge Sorisha like that. Okay, so we're going to be seeing more fires from Sorisha if Maria ends up challenging her. And then the next one, it was Umbali Ngiba is visiting Nonku, and I guess they just want to get to know each other. Remember, Umbali had spoken about Ntando she lost. She talked about her children being late, but didn't give the details as to did she have miscarriages, did they pass after they were born. She didn't explain. So she goes to Nonku's house. Nonku's house is beautiful, look guys. Nonku is not ashamed to show her house because it's a beautiful house. You're not going to question whether Nonku is homeless or not, okay, because she has a beautiful house. she will show you her house, okay. I'm sure if we ask for a title deed, Nonku will give us a title deed, okay. And Umbali is just impressed by the home and says, yeah, talks about the fact that she finished a flower order because it was the first, I guess she just started a business so she can advertise it on Real Housewives. Because how are you doing your first flower order on your business that is long-standing? It means that it was just started now. But that is wise too that she was able to do that. So she talks about Nonku just asked her, okay, you shared about losing your children, but you didn't share a lot. Okay, she said she had her child in 2016. Okay, guys, no. She says in 2016 she was shooting Greed and Desire, and that's when she got a call that her child had passed. But her child was 16 years old, so this is not like a baby, you know. And he had always been a sickly child. He had heart problems. He was born with it, so they were in and out of hospitals, in and out with doctors, and at the end he did pass, you guys. And then in 2018 she tried again to have a child, had ectopic pregnancy, and they had to operate because obviously they would say that a child cannot be growing. Is it between the tubes or in the wrong tubes? And then usually vele it's not a pregnancy that can survive full term. So it was, that's what happened, you guys. So that's what she had that loss too. So she started crying. It was a sweet moment, you guys. It was a sweet moment. And because she started crying, Nonku was hugging her and asked her, can I pray for you? I was impressed by Nonku praying for Ulona, but I was impressed by her asking if she can pray. Because there's one thing about Christians. About Christians, I assume sometimes, Umuntu will just put the hand on your head and pray for you. I like the fact that she asked, can I pray for you? And really prayed for her. It was a comforting prayer. I really feel like if I was in that situation, I would have appreciated it. Unonku shows ukuthi she was raised as Sontweni, you guys, and don't forget she is a pastor too. She trained as a pastor. She has a qualification as something like that, okay? And she was raised in Konzweni, I believe Umawake as well, as a pastor, and ubaba wakhe. So uyakhombisa ukukhulisa inkonzo. So it was a warm moment. I liked that. Okay. So, and then the next one, Annie, with the kids, her sister and the nanny. She was taking the kids to the animal park, and then ended up having a conversation with her sister, updating her about the issue with her eye and the fact that Jojo had already, Jojo uyashesha ngama surgical procedures. She had already called Annie and referred her to a certain doctor who can do a certain procedure. I don't know, you guys. Does Annie need this procedure? Does she really need it? But anyway, she was just talking about that. Guys, Annie needs to tell us what's making her sad this season. And she's really sad, guys. The energy is so low. But I'm glad she has a sister, because her sister was there. She was comforting to her. She was like, listen, you're not alone. If you need me, do anything that you need to do to be happy. But I'm just here for you. So this one was Usorisha. Because she has arranged to meet with Annie, I guess, and with Usli, okay? They say they're going to meet at the Oceans Mall, at some venue at the Oceans Mall, but she does mention that the Oceans Mall at the time was not opened. She talks about the fact that earlier on that day she had a phone call from Nonku, and it wasn't a pretty one. I guess they were confronting each other about what happened at the party, and she says she wasn't happy at the end of that call, okay? And Usorisha wants Usli there when she talks to Annie, because she doesn't want Annie to feel like Ututa is in Daba ezingeko. She wants Usli to say Sli is Nonku's friend. If Sli can say yes, that's what happened. Yes, that is what Unonku said. Then Annie will believe it. She won't feel like maybe Usorisha is just Ukulumi's dengeko. But I also feel like Usorisha is putting Ulokuzanusli in a worse situation than she is, because she's already in a bad situation with her friend Unonku. Now if she's going there by Annie Eyofagaza, would say yes, Unonku did say that, because she doesn't have a choice now. If Annie asks her, did Unonku really say that about me? She's gonna have to say yes, because she's gonna have to tell the truth. But she's telling a truth about her friend, and she's telling a truth that is putting her friend as a bad person, because it's like, yes, my friend did say that, and she did say it, but it's your friend too. It's like so yes, of course, I agree. Sorisha was being messy in doing that. They could have had that conversation with Annie without actually having Usli there. She's putting Usli in an awkward situation. But at the same time, I feel like Usli, it doesn't look like a friendship yake Nonku is going to work out anyway, because Nonku seems to be only interested in being friends with Jojo. Anyway, anybody else is going to be secondary to Jojo. The most important friendship in this season for her is a friendship with Jojo. So maybe it's good for Usli to look at the other side and look at the other ladies and see if they can build some type of a friendship with them, so that she doesn't only have Nonku on her side, because we all know Nonku has thrown her under the bus a number of times already. So, just build other friendships and see how they go, okay? And Nonku does mention something, you guys. I think it was in the diary session, when she says her problem with Sorisha is that Sorisha will reprimand her when she is talking about Annie, but she doesn't do the same when Annie is talking about her. And I think that is true. I don't think when Annie is talking about Nonku, Sorisha, we've seen it in the previous season, Sorisha doesn't say to Annie, mengabe uNonku esefika athi, and tell uNonku what you said about her. Sorisha doesn't do that. So for her to do that to uNonku, it's unfair. I get that. I didn't think about that before. That Sorisha doesn't do that. She only did it with uNonku, and she needs to hold Annie to the same standards that she holds uNonku. Meaning now Sorisha, every time somebody talks about somebody and they are not there, she must do the same. Otherwise it's unfair for uNonku, okay? So, and also Sorisha did mention something like Usli is the friendship that uNonku doesn't want. It's a friendship that uNonku needs but doesn't want, because Usli guys seem to be level-headed. From what we've seen on the show, there are other things that they say happened away from the cameras, which were shocking for me to hear about, because she has looked like a level-headed person. So she says, well, she's that friend that she needs uNonku but doesn't want, because she doesn't want somebody that's going to say friend. No, because I think even at that event, she was trying to save uNonku by saying, friend, just say what you said, because it looks bad for you to say something behind somebody's back and not say it when they're there. And uNonku took it in a bad way, okay? So the other scene, it was uNonku, Jojo, Maria, Nombali. I didn't understand where they are. Are they at Maria's house, or are they at Bali's house, which is not really her house because she rents a house, but they're outside by the pool and it's at night and they are cold. So I'm like, who came out with this idea for them to be by the pool at night on a cold night? It just didn't make sense, but they're there anyway. And so since they're cold, Maria offered to go get the blankets, and then goes and gets the blankets, gets like a number of them, but doesn't give it to them. She's like, no, we have to play a game, and you guys have to tell me a secret for me to give you a blanket, okay? So I'm like, it's already going to get messy, okay? Anyway, with Nonku, they start talking about that issue with the Sorisha. Obviously, Sorisha is not there. Sorisha, Annie, Ashley, they are not part of this group, okay? So Nonku is like, yeah, I didn't feel good about that situation, but I want to hear what you guys think about it. Obviously, all of them think that Sorisha shouldn't have done that, and Maria obviously is the first one to say, okay, because she doesn't like Sorisha. Okay, and yes, so all of them agree, because they don't think that should have been done at the event, and Sorisha was being messy. And then Mbali is talking about the inclusion Gasli, the involvement Gasli to the whole thing. She didn't understand it. She felt like Usli was being messy. They are saying, Mbali was saying, uNonku needs to talk to Usli as a friend, because they are friends, and then she needs to go and discipline Sorisha. I did not know what she means by discipline. Maybe just to tell her what's a name, where they stand, what you did was not right, and I guess that's what she means. But everybody agreed, because they did not feel like there was something that should have been discussed like that at the table. There is another boring scene that they did shoot Maria with her husband, and I guess it was just part of the introducing of the husband at home. They're talking about the fact that she's worried about her 14-year-old, because her 14-year-old hasn't chosen a career. I can tell Maria nae. where is the where do 14-year-olds know what they're gonna do for the rest of their lives? He hasn't chosen a career, and he doesn't seem very serious about school. There are 14-year-old boys, they're odd like that, okay? So she gets very anxious when he's writing exams, and her being anxious makes him anxious. Listen, that's what you feel as a parent. Like when your kids are writing exams, you feel like you're writing exams. Sometimes you feel like, am I the one studying? Because you'll be more serious about their exams than they are. But it was just a simple scene like that. And then it was an interesting scene because it was Jojo and her husband. Her husband is always gymming, okay? That's why he looks that huge, okay? He gyms and he drinks something because there must be something else he drinks to be that big. Okay, I'm joking, you guys. So he is exercising. Jojo is always bringing him a drink, when he's exercising. And they start talking about some event at Nonku's house that we don't know about. Apparently, they went to Nonku's house. And while they were at Nonku's house, Kevin was there, went to get some snacks, and Slee followed him, okay? And Slee started telling Kelvin how single she was and how she needs him to find her a man, okay? The way Kelvin tells the story, she said they were by the drink, by the snacks, and they were just talking about the snacks and general stuff. She introduced herself, they were just talking about general stuff. So when Nonku came to them, Usli started saying, he just told me that he will introduce me. I told him I was single, and he said that he will introduce me to his rich friends, okay? Listen, it's hard for me to think Ugutu Kelvin is lying about Usli telling him that she's single, and all of a sudden talking about him finding her a man. She said she did not say that. Usli just said that out of the blue to Nonku. It's hard to think that he's lying. But we don't know about this man because maybe Vele, when the cameras were not around, he was like, "Are you single, girl?" Because how did he get Jojo? And then now he was like, I can't say that to my wife. Why would I say, why would I be asking women if they are single, But a big part of me thinks that he's not lying about how that conversation went, that she did say she's single. But I don't know what the big deal is. I'm still trying to figure out, okay? So I'm guessing Utu Jojo is upset about the fact that this single woman is telling her husband that she's single. What does Kevin have to do with your singleness, Why does my husband need to know you are single, okay? But which later honestly says she didn't do. We are still trying to figure out who's lying and who is not, okay? And the next thing, Sorisha is opening. Sorisha is always opening businesses, okay? Opening a spa. I guess it's a spa, and they get to the event. Like I said, you guys, Annie is going through a lot. I don't think she has time to bother that much about what Nonku says because she's all positive towards Nonku. And so now they're sitting there. All the ladies, Jojo was there, Nonku was there, Slee is there, and who else? Bali was there. Yeah, bakhona nje bonke. So it's Sorisha's event. So I think Sorisha was moving around a little bit more. Okay. And while they are sitting there, number one, guys, notice how they're sitting because it's like couches. Okay. So they're sitting next to each other, but there's a space right at the end. Okay. And then these producers want us to believe because they did not expect Usane to come. So it just so happened that this woman comes and sits right at the spot where they had left a space for her to sit, okay? She sits right there, and it happens to be Usanel Siwepengu. If you want to know more about her, please watch the other video that I did about Usanel Siwepengu. She sits there. So she greets everybody, a friendly person, she greets everybody. Everybody is surprised because who is this? Because they're all pretending to not know her. Okay, they might not know her. They're pretending to not know her because they might not know her because she might be a producer surprise, So they might not know, but she greets everybody, shakes everybody's hands, introduces herself, she sits down. You can see she came here to sit with them. They're like, so who are you? She's like, no, I just had in the diary session, So, Pagati inside, she's at the party. Everybody's like, Okay. But I guess they sit and they are just, talking. With this opening of the massage place or the spa, it's an opening, but she's also celebrating Sorisha being in the industry for 10 years, because she talks about how her husband has helped her with the businesses. Even this one, at some point, she felt like he was even more invested in it because she did some speech. And then, yeah. Anyway, so while that is going on, the event is going on, the conversation is going on where they are sitting and they're asking she is a private chef. Slee refers to her as a caterer. She's not happy about that. She's not a caterer. Jojo jumps in to say Usli is a classist because she refers a chef and a caterer. Is it that different, you guys? Is it that different? A chef. Anyway, guys, hey, you must learn today. A chef is not a caterer. Hey, I don't want Sane to come for me. Hey, did you see how she was giving everybody their skatlas? Yeah, I don't want her to give me my skatlas. Hey. So she was not happy because they're referring to her because she is a private chef. Okay. Anyway, Nonku pulls aside Annie to talk to her, and over a seat thing. And so UN is saying, okay, I think I skipped something. When UN no Sorisha were talking with Usli, they did tell her the Unonku had spoken about her marriage, had spoken about the fact that she was having dinner all by herself on a vacation, and also they had spoken about the fact that she is scared of her husband. She does say in that scene that, you know what, I'm not scared of my husband, but I hold my husband in high regard. So if we are invited to an event, and we are there early and we got seats, and there's no reason for my husband to be standing there not having a seat. I'm going to make sure that he has a seat. I just don't understand why she wanted Nonku's seat. Okay, so they talk about it, and it doesn't make it into a big deal, which really makes me feel like UN is not being herself, or she has decided to do things differently to this season, which there's nothing wrong with that. If you've watched a season, didn't like something about how you acted last season, you can fix things. Okay, so now while they are talking, they are also talking there at the table, because obviously now Usli has called Usane a caterer, and then Jojo starts making that thing about her, because everything has to be about Jojo. She says, oh, you are a classist, Usli, because you also talked about me before you even knew me. And Usli is like, hold on, with you I knew everything about you because Nonku had told me about you. Lona Angimazi, so I made a mistake of calling her a caterer. So she is a private chef. Okay. And so now that's when I realized, actually Nonku unabuxoki in the friendship between Yena and Usli and not George, because Usli just say, no, I was saying things because of the things that Nonku, your friend, had told me. I was judging you based on the things that she had told me. And I was like, I wonder what those things are, because I was like, I want to know what those things are. Now she says, you also told my husband, she's talking about the single thing, that you were single. What would be the reason that you would tell my husband that you were single and that she was going to find you a man? And Usli is like, what? I never said that. So Usli denies to go to that side. That is when Jojo gets on her face, because Usli was like, you know what, because Pella Kelvin was there at the event. Usli is like, call your husband so we can settle it, because I didn't say that. And Jojo is like, don't involve your husband. Gets on Usli's face, points at her face. Basically, Nonku was pushing her. Guys. Pushing her. I didn't like the fact that Jojo was getting on Usli's face like that, you guys. I do feel like as adults, they should be able to talk without getting aggressive like that, because we all know that at the end of the day, Jojo is not going to be held accountable for her behavior when she behaves like that. So I hate that Usli now has to be the one that now in that situation when Jojo is behaving like that. She was on her face, she was pointing at her like, and they had to push her away from Slee. Slee eventually feels like everything is too much because obviously none of the women are on her side, because obviously Lona is not there. Usorisha is not there, so she decides to take her back and leave. Okay, now when she's leaving, Usorisha finds out that Slee has left. And when she's leaving, everybody can see that Lee is upset, because she even said that it's the end of the friendship between her and Nonku. But Nonku even doesn't. Nonku really doesn't care about that friendship. Nonku doesn't follow her to be like, friend, are you okay? And whatever. The others did try when she was saying she's leaving to say, no, stay, don't leave, or whatever. But when she stood up and left, nobody followed her. Sorisha is surprised because Lee has left. Nobody followed her. She was upset. She's calling her. Lee is crying on the phone because she is so upset. She's like, listen, I didn't want to ruin your event. I feel like I'm going to break something. I'm going to, hit somebody. I will lay hands on them, and it won't be because I am praying for them. So I was like, let me go, okay? So Risha is just shocked by the whole thing, because obviously she wasn't around when the whole thing was happening. So Slee left. And then Londie London arrives, which was a surprise, because of course we didn't know that Londie London was going to make an appearance this season. So I'm glad that Londie London made an appearance. Number one, I'm glad that she collected that bag, even though it's not as big as last season, because of course she's not a cast member, but she collected some, and we all know that she needs it. She comes in, she sits down, everybody is happy to see her, and obviously she came to do what she always does, which is to pretend everything is going on, because in the data sessions it's like everything is going okay, and we're like, no, we know it's not. I'm like, no, but it's not going well. What's up? Okay. She thought she was just going to come on, and people were going, oh my God. And we were like, And the producers had a secret weapon, which was Usane. So initially when she comes to London, Sane is all friendly. She's friendly back to Sane. I even thought they knew each other, because it's like, girl, like, hey, where have you been? It's like, I've been around. I saw your event. How did it go? This is Sane and Londie London. And I'm like, oh, they know each other. How did the event go? How was the turn up? It went well. The turn up was good. Okay. And then Jojo starts talking now quietly. I think the other ladies started talking on the side and paying attention to other things. And Usane is sitting next to Jojo. Jojo sitting next to Londie London. Started talking now directly to Londie London to find out what's happening. And she has seen some things on social media, but didn't want to crowd her with messages and all that. What's up? And she's like, listen, you know what's up, but I'm not going to talk about it now, because obviously we're sitting next to somebody that we don't know, Miss Sane here. And then Usane is like, listen, I really don't care what's happening in your life, girl. Jojo is the one asking. Jojo is the one asking. And she's like, Ulundi is like, no, but I just don't want to talk about it now with everybody. It's like, but what are you hiding? Usane is like, but what are you hiding, girl? Ngoba yonke into is online, yonke into is on social media. Indoda ikishiyile ikuzalise 2 kids yakulaxaza. Yazi umuntu akunika igaxa zakho, but the gaxas that are true, but akunike akukhangezise, like, put them here, like, here is your skat. That's what Usane did. Like, what are you hiding, empela? Ngoba vele we all know ukuthi indoda ikushiyile ikuzalisa ingane ezothi uyakushiya. Khona manje njena ngabe udriver amabanibani, but how Londie London is like, hi bosses, why are you so invested in my life? She's like, I'm not, but there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide. Vele indoda ilokhuzile ikushile, and vele kushiyele kona lokhu ukuthi uyaphapha, vele kuba uphapha indoda ngabe isekhona. Listen, I don't agree with that. The daughter is gonna share you if he's going to share you. But she was just saying, ukuthi vele we know what everything is online. You were even on Ikaya FM talking about crying yourselves to sleep and all of that. So what have you got to hide? Tell you, Jojo, what's happening. I don't have to move here because obviously I know what is happening. Okay, listen, Londie London wasn't ready. Okay, wasn't ready, and it was sad to watch Usane do that. But at the same time, I thought about last season, and I thought about her behavior last season. I was like, it is karma, you guys, because she was so happy to gang up with Abo Eni when they were going against Ulasi. And now look what is happening now. She has nobody to defend her because Nonku, they were like, oh. And I'm sure Nonku was happy because Nonku also, they also did gang up on her last season. So I'm sure she was happy to see that somebody came for Londie London like that because and questioned her about her life like that. Because listen, Gabu drive a Range Rover, I was say command. So what's happening? You know? And they were pretending as if Bayam Kuzu Usane, but not really. At the same time. But I could see the sadness in Londie London's face because she tried to hold her own. But you know when you're going through stuff and then somebody comes for you in the moment when you are still ukowisha. She says yena akazange ashiwe indoda ushiye indoda. Usane is like, hey, uzokhohlisa abahola ngesonto sis. Siyazi ukuthi ikushiyile awuyishiyanga. Okay, we don't know, you guys. Maybe she did share the daughter, but I do feel like she did not have a choice. A man that behaves like that, at the end you have to share in daughter. But I feel like if she had a choice, she wouldn't, because of course the money, the life, and all of that. But anyway, that's what happened. She ended up saying, cheers, guys, cheers to champagne. She said something funny. Cheers to champagne, have a glass. Guys, you have to watch that thing to see how good it was. You know, it was like reality TV treasure. It was everything that you need in a reality show, okay? And yeah, you guys, and it was sad, but it was not at the same time. I definitely feel like we needed Usane for that moment. I feel like we wouldn't have gotten that moment with Londie London. Nobody would have confronted Londie London had it not been for Usane. They would have just nursed her feelings when she didn't nurse anybody's feelings last season. So we needed somebody to come on like that. Of course, she's rude. People are not liking her. But listen, we need a little bit, just in small doses of Sane, okay? Anyway, you guys, that was an episode for today. Please tell me what you thought about it in the comment section. Also, like the video before Pumegona. Share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando kakhulu.